Action sports star Travis Pastrana is coming to a dirt track soon. We'll talk about that, plus update you on some sprint car rides, and we've got Anthony Macri's schedule that features a series championship run. Let's go. It's Thursday, February 2nd. I'm Justin Fiedler. This is Dirt Tracker Daily. As someone who makes videos for YouTube, I spend a probably unreasonable amount of time watching videos on YouTube, and yesterday I checked out the new Hunt the Front video. Jonathan and crew guy Jordan came up this direction to grab a new car from Longhorn Chassis. And if you aren't aware, the Longhorn shop is right outside of Mooresville, North Carolina, which is about 35 or 40 minutes from where I sit. There's actually a great golf course right across the highway from their shop called Warrior that I've played a bunch. Anyways, in coming to Longhorn for the car, Longhorn owner Steve Arpin walked Jonathan around the shop for a little tour, showing off cars and talking about how things have been going for the chassis builder. Jonathan asked if there were any cars in the shop currently for big-name drivers, and Arpin just happened to mention a car for Travis Pastrana. Now, this isn't a dirt late model, but Longhorn also builds modifieds, and apparently Pastrana will be in a car at Volusia during Dirt Car Nationals. And if you aren't aware, Pastrana is attempting the Daytona 500 in a third car for 2311 coming up in a few weeks as a teammate to Bubba Wallace and Tyler Reddick, and Arpin said the modified is being run in conjunction with that deal. The car itself is under a cover in the Longhorn shop because the paint scheme hasn't been revealed just yet, and the modified will apparently have a similar look to the Cup car. Arpin did pull up the cover just a bit to show the 199 number on the door, and he said they tested with Pastrana at Brunswick, that's Golden Isles, at some point here recently. Day one supposedly was an adventure, but it sounds like things went better after that. Going out on a limb, I'd say that both the Cup car and modified will probably be sponsored by Black Rifle Coffee Company, who has been featured prominently with Pastrana here lately. He's obviously known for his crazy stunts on motocross bikes and appearing recently in Gymkhana videos, but Pastrana has spent plenty of time in his career in serious motorsports competition, including running rallycross, actual stage rallies with the ARA, and he had a foray into NASCAR. And that attempt at stock car racing started in 2011 and included 12 K&N Pro Series starts, 5 appearances in the Truck Series, and 42 races in the Xfinity Series. He had a full season in 2013. And his best result was a 9th at Richmond during that 2013 year with Roush. Pastrana running at Volusia will bring plenty of attention to that event, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see him run half decent. He's clearly not afraid to drive a car completely sideways, and his car control skills should fit nicely with a modified on a big track like that. I wouldn't expect him to win, but he is in a good car and will have good people around him. I'll link below to the Hunt the Front video if you want to check it out for yourself. The 2023 sprint car season will start next week at Volusia, but there is still plenty to decide in terms of rides and silly season moves, and I figured today we could talk about a few things kind of still happening, especially at the regional levels. Most of the national stuff, at least in terms of driver moves, has already been decided, and there wasn't really a ton of movement anyway. I've been asked about the McGee car with the All-Stars, and as far as I know, that team is all done competing. Parker Price Miller was in that car a year ago, as were several other drivers late in the season after PPM got hurt. Always a competitive car that picked up some victories, but don't expect them back. PPM has moved on and brought crew chief Kevin Osmolsky with him. They're going to campaign their own car again, and I've heard there might be a new partnership in the works for PPM down the road. The other all-star car without a driver right now is the Lane Racing farm car. They parted ways with driver Cap Henry late in 2022, and I think we could see a surprise driver and sponsor with that team for the season if the rumors turn out to be true. Stay tuned here on that one. The Hefner car, the 27 in Central Pennsylvania, is still open, and I've heard really nothing credible about who might drive that one. Devin Borden had been in it before departing to partner with the Shuttlesworths, and Darren Pittman did win in that car at Selinsgrove in September. Elsewhere, we know that Dale Blaney will be back for a sizable sprint car slate this year. Jeremy Elliott says he's going to drive a car for owner Jerry Barris in something like 40 shows between Ohio, Pennsylvania, and maybe even some of the series. Matt Campbell will be back in his own 16C for this season, while his ex-car owner Ron Rutherford has hired Mark Smith for a 410 slate of races. If there are other rides or drivers that I'm forgetting here, feel free to let me know in the comments below, and we can investigate those and see what we can find out. I also wanted to mention Anthony Macri today. His team dropped their tentative schedule yesterday with over 100 nights of racing planned. As I expected, there is a pretty sizable chunk of races outside of Macri's normal central PA area. He's going to run Volusia and East Bay to start the year, plus plenty of local stuff as usual. He's also, though, got all 11 high limit points races on his schedule, which would make him now the 8th driver to commit to that series full time, joining Kyle Larson, Rico Abreu, Buddy Kofoid, Justin Peck, Brent Marks, Danny Dietrich, and Corey Eliason. And along with High Limit, there are a bunch of other Midwest shows on Macri's schedule, including All-Star stuff, plenty of Outlaw races. I figured with Macri hiring Joe Mooney away from Casey Kane Racing to be his new crew chief, they were planning on some pretty serious traveling, and this schedule definitely confirms that. So lots of racing on tap in 2023 for the Concrete Kid. After a couple of days off to recover and regroup, the Lucas competitors are back at it tonight at Alltech for a practice night. They'll race Friday and Saturday there in Lake City before action shifts to East Bay on Sunday. I don't believe there's any live coverage of the sessions tonight, as there is nothing listed on Flow Racing's website. I'm sure there will be some updates, though, floating around on social media. With 5 race nights complete so far, Brandon Overton leads the standings right now over Ricky Thornton Jr. and Jonathan Davenport. Devin Moran is 4th, and Tim McCready is 5th right now in those standings. Overton has 2 wins. RTJ, Davenport, and Kyle Larson all have 1 apiece right now. We'll talk more about the Lucas weekend on tomorrow's show. And if you're curious, Travis Varnador picked up the UMP Modified win last night at East Bay. According to Dirt Car, Varnador has been coming to Winter Nationals for 15 years, and this was his first trip to Victory Lane. He topped Kevin Adams and Lucas Lee for that win. The modified portion of Winter Nationals continues through Saturday night at East Bay, with the late models then taking over on Sunday and the modifieds going to Volusia. Still another relatively quiet day across the streaming services. We've got the same slate today. We've kind of had the past few days, modifieds from East Bay and Flow 24/7 on Flow Racing and Dirt Vision. Now, things will start to pick up, though, tomorrow and into the weekend. To see the full daily streaming schedule, click that Watch Tonight button in the nav bar over at dirttracker.com. And just a reminder, if you guys want some Dirt Tracker merch, you can head over to shop.dirttracker.com. I've got hats, I've got decals available there, a couple of different options. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you can also click below. I've added in all of the shopping options. They should appear kind of below the video, so it's a quick and easy way to just click over to the store if there is something you want to get. And as I add new products, maybe in the future, they should show up there as well. I would like to kind of get rid of a few more shirts and things that I've got in stock before we do kind of expand out and maybe try some new designs. But if you want to do that, shop.dirttracker.com. All of that stuff is for sale right now. Free shipping in the US. You don't pay sales tax. I'll pay it for you. All right, have a good Thursday out there. We will see you guys tomorrow for more Dirt Tracker Daily.